Hello, hello. It is I, again. And John will join me shortly, who we just heard of for a brief, few hours ago because they just had their match. I'm showing you 788. This is another. How many others is it? We're in our like 7th tournament or 6th tournament, one or two. This is Azure Dreams. This is a random toolkit tournament, which means we are going to have 5 random items. We're going to have all sorts of weird. Oh, someone already did an Azure Streams thing. That's wonderful. Thank you, Poulet. I'm really not on the ball on that one. We're going to have 5 random items, relatively the same kind, a different monster than normal, but basically everything else is relatively vanilla. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Shuzo versus Septic. This is loser's bracket. Winner of this will verse actually John. And yeah, it's as he Septic named himself, Let's Go as well. I have to tell SpeedGaming 1 second. I can mute myself so people don't hear me type on my keyboard, which is next to my microphone. So while we're waiting for the countdown and everything to go, I would like to know, what do people think? Oh, here we go. Here's John. So I was just reading the chat, the Zero Dreams Discord.
Yeah, I'm here.
No, his game feed is paused when he's clicked off the game. So, is it actually his game feed then? Well, we'll see if it catches up. 1 sec here then.
Hopefully. It looks like our first pet here is a griffin. It's a pretty nice pet to start.
It's Discount Queenie. It doesn't have enough MP like Queenie. It doesn't have. Well, we'll see if. Shuzo's game feed is frozen here.
Oh.
I will just quickly send. Yeah, just a message here.
Let's
But
go.
for now, we will just focus on Septic side while we get this sorted out.
It is a water griffin.
Water griffin actually be quite nice. Like I said, it is Discount Queenie, but it's also
Oh, it's an evolved monster because it didn't have a name. With the
Ooh,
egg there.
That is interesting. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Oh.
Okay, I'm not happy with having a death. Death is actually something you can't pick up. Yes, it also could be Queenie if it's a nameless monster as well. Because technically the egg with... Oh, alchemic. That's useless.
Nice when you're on a different kind of speed run there.
Mm-hmm.
It's curious to see what he does with that death. Does he fuse it with the griffin and use it for the double level ups? That would probably be a really good use out of it.
If he does, though, he loses the water typing. Which isn't really the best thing to have on the early floors due to, honestly, it being... Well, once you get to floor 5, you're kind of fine. Oh, yeah, I know. I saw the Scarlet Wand go away as well. We see the... I gotta try to just ping Shuzo a little bit more here. Shuzo literally had everything set up perfectly fine and then started the race and then the game froze. So I'm pretty sure they need to poke something into their OBS. So apologies for that, but we get to at least watch Septic for now. Otherwise, we can see outside the main house.
The before and after.
Yeah, exactly. So what's coming down to this is we see Septic using Death. Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of Death. I can't remember if it's liftable. It is a decently strong monster. It does technically have a weapon. It's now scared of that, just for the record. It's not liftable. That's what I figured.
And it's also wind, which is I don't know. I don't know the strategy behind that. I guess the long range attack, or he's looking for like a seed or something. Or maybe he's gonna fuse the Griffin into him after he levels him up.
Possibly. Griffin doesn't really have too much going for it when it comes to... It's basically, like I said, a discount Queenie. It has a basic fire, or I guess in this case, water attack and stuff like that. A death, honestly, is still extremely good with lowdown. Having a base wind, being able basically to one-shot any Kraken, New Well, anything wind as well. Like, the only thing you have to worry about is fire, which it's relatively brittle. So it's a good-ish monster. Okay, there we go. We can see... Okay, Shuzo restarted stream. It will come up again shortly. Shuzo did not actually see my DMs, so I had to actually ping him in the actual spoiler thing. So, yes,
Yeah,
John, you get to watch people suffer now instead of playing it. How's that feel?
Yeah, it feels great. I tell you. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing in my match. I'll tell you that much. I was a little.
Yeah, that was his harsh luck on the game 1 and 2, from what I saw. Well, game 1 it was a 440 clear, and they were in front of you. But the second game, yeah, everything was just bad.
So. Yeah, the game 1 I could have made it to 440. I was doing a little bit of memeing and lost a bunch of time, and that's what I get. So when you're in a race, let's not take time to do memes and funny stuff. You fall behind.
No, definitely not. Like in this game, our runners are stupidly well versed. So I think Shuzo might be having a slideshow right now. So we see at least Shuzo is going with the Water Griffin. Did not hatch the egg. Timer's still going, so give it that.
Yeah, hopefully we can get to see him pick it up a little bit soon.
There's nothing wrong with the stream. Well, I'll check on my side as well here.
Still on 4-3, so Septic is doing a good clear, trying to gather as much items as he can right now for the climb later. Which is a little scary because these flames and trolls on this floor, if he gets pincered, it can be trouble for that clown type monster.
Yeah, well, as of right now, we'll just have to focus on the state display for Shuzo and seeing how HP changes, because Light Chai is actually saying that, the stream is running fine. It's just something about it is just not registering, which is odd, because when I was helping him get the aspect ratio correct with the RetroArch, it was actually running perfectly fine when I was watching on their stream. So, who knows?
That's a little crazy there.
Yep.
Well, we got 2 acid rain balls, so how about that?
Honestly, yeah, it's quite generous amount of acid rain balls. Looks like steel sword. No, there's no reason to equip a steel sword with an iron sword. You're eventually just going to be using nothing but distance magic with death anyway. So it doesn't matter what you use. You can even be, technically without a weapon, and you'll be still doing the same amount of damage. The long range magic is based off the actual monster more than the actual thing. That's a 2-shot, I believe, for taking out the Cyclone. It was 28. Yep, there you go. And that's the power of death and Death Cloud, unlocked Picket, and there's one other monster that technically has lowdown as well, but I can't recall that off the top of my head.
Oh man, yeah, I don't know. I only know about those 2.
I think it might be Cyclone. I think Cyclone gets Lagrave when it's fire, and I think that's lowdown when it's Runic. I was always under the impression that most things were explicitly melee based, except for stuff like Mount Burn and other things which clearly had a large range animation. But Yeah, that is a good inventory on Septic side. 2 acid rain,
he's
2
pretty
elite
stacked.
2 sleeps.
Now, a feature that I would like to see in the randomizer would be actually being able to combine the spell balls. Like you get like right there, so you got 2 acid rain balls. They only have 1 charge each, so being able to like combine them into each other would be awesome. Somehow, if that was a way.
Yeah, well, there's a small hidden mechanic in the game that isn't really taught to you, but if you have a spell ball with 10 charge, you would that Mana Weave is going to complicate things. Honestly, just throw the Aleem for it against the balloon and then deal with the Mana Weave. I think is the proper choice here. But if you have a spell ball with 10 charge and you feed it to a monster, that monster will then learn that spell, except Acid Rain. So, like, if you find a bunch of white sand in a binding ball and you want to teach the paralysis magic to your monster, you can. So,
it is very helpful for casual runners just getting the hang of the game, getting some spells, getting that all elusive heal spell on your favorite monster, being able to heal like I was doing in the first match, which came in handy.
Also, that's a very nice item room. 2 seeds, 3 herbs, a wand, 2 wands actually.
Star glasses, it's nice.
Again, this is where you don't need the swords at all.
Yeah, and he's saving that earth shield for the later the cracking floors and stuff, I'm assuming, but man, he has so much stuff. He doesn't really need anything in that room. Just wasting time. Wind Seed is good though. Stream 1, Scarlet 1.
Everything you'd want truthfully, but you have the thing that doesn't take into account wand damage.
Yeah, Shuzo should be happy finding that room for the stream wand. If we can see his stream come up eventually.
Well, again, the stream is fine. The problem is the game feed's not being recorded because we can see the timer still going perfectly. So something's up with the actual. I think he might have his window covered and it's not capturing it. So, we do see the inventory building up. We have the binding ball, Aleem, sleep, copper, and decurse. But before the next match, we'll definitely sort things out with Shuzo and get things done, so things are properly displayed. But I don't want to disturb Shuzo mid-match again. That's not fair. But we see progress going. We see things updating. If we see that HP hit 0, then we know what happened. Or, Griffin disappears. Oh, Griffin is level 5 now, and honestly, that's quite a good level for like 15 attack power, which is already much stronger than Ko.
It looks like they was on the same floor. He was on the 6th floor, and Septic just got to the 7th floor. So Septic is slightly ahead, but he's keeping pace right now. That's pretty good.
Yeah, actually, fun fact: you can snipe through the walls, wall hack with deaths. So you don't actually have to walk all the way here. You can actually shoot diagonal. The game's a bit weird when it comes to the direct spells like that. A flame ball. Okay, this is honestly a very generous seed when it comes to resources. Because two acid rains, I would probably try to find an opportunity just to use one of them. Like, there's enough stuff to cover, or drop the earth shield.
Yeah, well, he had the white sand. He could have just used the white sand on one of the acid rain balls and then burned the other one. He would have still had the 2 charges, but he opted to use it on the flame ball that he just found instead.
Well, I sort of agree with that, and I sort of don't. I prefer the use. This is a very generous seed. Like, exactly what I was going to say, Chai, is you don't need an earth shield when you can kill all water creatures basically from 9 spaces away. Right. Now, what you should be doing is looking for something to change the genus of death, because if you hit a bomb trap, death is dying, ironically. there's no chance of it surviving. Basically, it will do like 40 something damage at this point, and you just lose your monster. And with no restore scroll, it's like that's problematic. Or Griffin sniping, doing whatever. Water is honestly the better one to have. Oh, we see here that Shuzo got updated with the stream wand.
So he found the room.
Yeah, he found the room and he's updating his things. Probably going. There's the wind seed. He's picking that up as well. Like the stream wand is going to go very, very, very well with the water griffin. The mixture magic you get. Think of it like Pokemon, same type of attack bonus. If you have the wand corresponding to your monster's mixture magic, so water and water, stream wand, you will get a huge increase in damage because wands give one boost, 50%, and then you get an additional boost on top of that using having the same
element,
attack
right?
bonus. Yeah. So having that, basically, you are not going to fear anything. You can probably justify a couple things here or there, but like you stay away from the wind creatures, basically 2/3. Pule.
Shield must go. I agree with you. One of them. The Earth Shield is bad. I was gonna say Earth Shield is bad. If he keeps that equipped, same thing. If he runs into a bomb trap, he's gonna take extra damage as well. So I would personally probably just get rid of the Earth Shield itself and just run with the Copper Shield until I find another shield like a leather or mirror or whatever. But he has so much stuff in his inventory. Either he has the herb you can get rid of, the light seed. He's overstacked right now. He doesn't really need anything. He should just be in go mode.
Honestly, with that amount of inventory, I do understand keeping the Roam herb, which is obviously the blind cure herb. It's not the worst thing to like have to ditch if you need it, but as long as you're very quick to memorize what the floor layout was when you hit a blind trap, you're okay. Like that's the only one there. Holy Star, Olim, Restore, Medicinal. Having a light seed honestly is very good because once you get a certain level, you can turn to fire. You can deal with basically all the fire and wind creatures, which are a good bulk for a while. I don't agree with not taking the Mahel seed. That one should have been taken. So
yeah,
Mahel seeds have saved actually of all people. Sorry, John, to interrupt you, but like the Mahel seed save you in your matches and stuff like that. Like it made a difference from like getting hit 3 times to dodging all the enemies. Like it's a good evasive item to have.
Yeah, especially if you're running solo or end up having to run solo. I tend to like to keep at least one Mahel seed on me for just random occasions, especially if you hit a slow trap. That Mahel seed cures that static effect, just like you being blinded or whatever. And you don't want to be slow running into like a group of monsters or anywhere close by any monsters because they're going to get 2 attacks on you. And if there's more than one monster, it's just going to compile up and it just spells quick death. So yeah, it's safe to have one of those on standby, in my opinion.
I don't. Yeah, that's gonna hurt. Okay, that's fine. It doesn't hit death. That's half his health. Don't. I know you have a restore scroll, but don't screw around with the volcanoes. I would honestly shove it. You have enough defense to take a hit. You have a medicinal herb still. Just get it out of range. Sleep is perfectly fine as long as it doesn't wake up in one turn. I've never understood, Pule, why you hate Restore Scrolls so much, but I always found it amusing that you always just eat them every time you pick them up. It's true, though. It's like if you... I'm in the same way. I use AI 1. I tend to be quite slow compared to some runners. But it's always like a good... it's a good mentality to have, basically. Like if you need to revive your monster, you did something wrong. In my book, like that's always been a thing.
Because you're not always going to get a restore scroll, though. They're pretty rare.
Yeah, you can't bank on them either. Like if you find one, yay, but like Play says, like you can probably get some more useful stuff to cover it too.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I wish I would have had a restore scroll in a couple of my matches. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
Meaning
yeah, to be
almost
fair.
all of them. And truth glasses, so that's gonna be nice. He's probably gonna check on the A, yep. And it's some blue A.
Shout out to Sand Knight for Orlando Bloom, one of the original strats of the game. It's because if you unlock its magic, Turret Wind, it's 100% chance paralysis. And basically, Sand Knight, I think at that point, I don't know if he ever completed a run with Orlando Bloom, but he was basically able to survive a lot when he shouldn't have.
Could be no worse than a Palumpa run. Have you ever tried to do a Palumpa % run, Shiny?
Yeah, I hated it.
It is hard. I still need to complete one. It is.
It's
probably one of the
basically
hardest
turning
things to
Azure
do.
Dreams into an escort quest, and I disagree. No one likes escort quests. Again, if you're a game developer and your running speed is faster than the NPC walking speed that causes interruptions, that's a bad thing. Don't do that.
Yeah, it is definitely a challenging thing to do. Let's see where Shuzo is here. He's on 413, so he's actually ahead of Wuga
Yeah,
right
he
now.
is. Actually, it does make sense. With the Water Griffin, you would be able to get through a lot of the stuff, which is the fire floors, which is what Septic is kind of taking time on. We also see 41 MP. Also, Griffin is down to 11 health, so that thing took a hit. And there is no restore scroll on Shuzo's side.
I'm assuming it's probably a Kraken. Those things are nasty, no matter what element you are. Looks like he's surviving here. He's open Sapita fruit. It is. He's gonna feed it. He was low on MP, so he really needed that Pita fruit right there on SepticTank side.
Mm-hmm.
He's starting to use up some of that inventory too. Look at that. He has some space.
Ooh, Wind Crystal.
The live shield? You're gonna go for
The
live?
live shield has screwed me over more times than I care to admit, because I've tried to like squeak out of certain issues, and of all things, they hit me with the stupid Manoevas, and then they start duplicating because of live shield. They're nearly full health, and they're just in the way, and they cause problems. So
Yeah,
I don't like live
toxic
shield. That's the one shield I'll actively avoid.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun sometimes, and I'll use it if there's absolutely no other shield, like something is better than nothing kind of thing. But yeah, I would definitely take any other shield over that. I'll go for a steel shield over the live shield.
I think I know what's happened with Shuzo's side. I think the window's being covered, and OBS isn't registering it when it's not above. So I know. So yeah, it's weird to see Krakens going down so easy. Like, oh no, there's a new Elm Kraken there. Well, who cares? You have a death with long range that doesn't trigger the electric retaliation of Krakens. Congrats. You almost get a nice amount of experience. Decurse, eh. I won't repeat
just
that
got the
comment.
lead now. He's on 414 now.
Yep.
And he's gonna probably go a little bit faster now that he has that wind monster on these floors here. So you can see the lead extend here, I bet.
Yeah, and even like again, you'll see like this is 47 to whatever amount of damage. Yeah, 47. Krakens have way too much HP for where they are on the feed.
I mean, Kraken was one of those monsters. Like throughout most of this game, there's these floors that kind of spits out a random monster at you that just tells you, "Hey, it's a damage check to figure out exactly if you're supposed to be here or not." Right? And Krakens is definitely one of those monsters. They're there to challenge you to make sure that you're actually tough enough to get through those floors.
Yep, and also we can see Shuzo went down to 9 HP as missing Griffin with a skull beside it. So something happened on Shuzo's side. And nothing good. This is where you bag the monster. There we go. This is a little bit risky strat. You're going to have to take a hit. Just take the hit.
There goes the Earth Shield.
But if that thing was cursed, I'd be laughing. Because he
already had it. He already had. Oh, sorry to cut you off. He already had it equipped before, so you knew it wasn't cursed.
Oh, okay. Switch off the Earth Shield in front of the Fire Troll.
I was waiting to see if he was gonna do that or not.
Oh, we have full health on Shuzo's side there.
Out comes the death, so we're back on track here. Shuzo seems like he's having some tough luck on that floor 13. He still hasn't made it out just yet. Meanwhile, Septic is on floor 16. Just as expected, the lead is extending there.
Honestly, Poulet, as you mentioned about the Light Seed, I would probably wait till after the Viper floors. Because, like, that's the issue. If you were to change a fire and Vipers and, all this other stuff come at you, as of right now, basically everything in the Viper floors died to the death. That phonetically makes sense and grammatically makes sense, but it's like wind would be problematic if you came across fire monsters afterwards. So having the wind typing actually would be overall a little bit better, and then once you get past the wind floors in general, switching to the fire one honestly would be overall better, just because dragons, golems, and killers are the main issues.
I think right now, because he has the wind seed too, so right now switching to in my opinion, switching to the fire genius would be okay, because he has that egg still, so he can always use the egg net for the Vipers. He just has to be a little careful not to try to take them on in the hallways.
True. And also there is technically the bloom, so you can technically get water if you wanted as well by fusing it. Blue color is available at the start of these matches. So hatching the bloom and then being able to do that wouldn't be the worst either.
So he has options. So it's curious to see exactly what his thought process is on this and what Septic is going to do here. While he finds the elevator train, that's awesome.
Yep. Oh yeah, you'll absolutely love to see that.
And it continues.
That's what, 17, 18, and... Oh, sorry, 16, 17, 18, then. Do we get one more? No. I actually had to play the game.
We get to pick it.
Best monster. Man, I'm so sad you guys did the familiarless race or whatever during the pick egg one.
And I would have been more than happy to have done that like on the second seed.
Okay.
That would have been fun for me. See, there we go. There's that slow trap that I was just talking about, and he's not in a good spot.
He's not the worst spot. He can use a Holy Bell waited out. He can use a Fireball, because that picket is moving 4 times every turn.
Yeah.
It's not very dangerous, but it definitely can add up after a while against Ko.
Yeah, not yet. Not until that Weed Dog gets there, but he should kind of burn out of it before that Weed Dog gets close enough, so he should be alright. And there's Ice Rock for safety.
He's just going to try to get some distance there. Thankfully, the Ice Rocks have a good chunk of health. It's a fire versus water, obviously, because it's ice. So you're going to have a lot of decent... you're going to have a lot of decent time before... Yeah, there we go. The slow trap wears off. You should be able to kill the Weed Dog with Mixture Magic as well. Trying to troubleshoot with Shuzo, or not with Shuzo, I should say. I'm trying to figure out what's happening with Shuzo's side. So we'll figure things out after. And this is where, again, I would not move still. I would just let Death deal with it. If there was a trap, that might be issues. I always don't like fighting without moving when I get into new rooms, just because I tend to hit like the paralysis trap or the warp trap or whatever. It's always problematic in some way. But we're in Viper Town now, so floor 20.
And he's staying win, so looks like he's figuring it's good to just use the wind monster there. Those arachnids too. They're good to have there.
The spiders, unicorns, and vipers basically all go down to death one way or another. So, like, again, the only thing you have to worry about are wee dogs. That's the entire problem of this entire floor. And honestly, with the amount of inventory, the 4 Olim fruits if he wants it. He's just going to use it, I see. Yeah, honestly, I still get rid of the Earth Shield. I don't think there's too much stuff in his inventory. Or I'd use the truth glasses on the other sleep ball or something to at least get some information on it.
Yeah, I would use it on the binding ball, so that way you can at least know one of each. Because sometimes the sleep ball is good to use, but the binding ball is good to use in other situations, especially with liftable monsters.
Yeah, no, I agree. And floor 23. Shuzo on floor 16. Okay, now there's a truth glasses and an egg. No, Septic, you have to... No, it's just going to go eat the egg. It's a viper. Hi, egg.
He's going to get it back. He's going to get it back.
Yes, but hatching is now a detriment. It has a minus attack.
Who said he was going to hatch it? He's probably just going to feed it for MP.
True, but still, like, it's still an issue.
There goes their shield.
Use the truth glasses.
Oh, man.
Nope. Okay, just...
Yeah.
They're out of range for the Garuda, I believe, too, so... What is the possible eggs for?
He was on floor 22. I think that's the absolute last floor for the Garuda.
Yeah. Let me just quickly check. Floors.
Shuzo's on. Shuzo's on floor 19. His HP is healing up, so he might be at an elevator.
Honestly, there is no Garuda chance. Arachne, Unicorn, Block, Troll, Manaweeva, Balrog, Picket, Wee Dog, Stealth, and Viper. So quite the large list, but one of the higher percent chance ones are Arachne. So possibly missing out on the opportunity for...
Yeah, that would have been a good fusion there.
Yeah, because it's always good to have double attack. Or just using truth glasses and just having it as an option to hatch later.
Yeah.
Like, Arachne is a wonderful... those guys suck. Thankfully, they have no magic defense. Or, I guess you can use Flame Ball as well. He would be comfortably able to kill them with the lowdown.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where the truth glasses go. Okay.
It makes sense because he only has one fire attack ball, so he's got to be careful with that on these wind floors coming up unless he decides to change him to a fire monster.
Floor 24. Didn't see anything on the spin-in. There's nothing to the top as well. Now you're in the wind floor, so this makes a lot of sense now. Because now, congratulations, you spend... I think it's same MP as the lowdown one. It's a little bit longer in animation, but basically everything here will just die to Death's Heatwave now. Ooh, that thing has more HP or something. True. Snowmen are coming.
He still has
420.
Yeah, he's on floor 20. He's hanging in there.
Yeah. Shuzo said that they didn't have enough, or didn't get time to practice as much as they'd want. Getting to floor 20 is no small feat in this game. You can't guarantee that stuff. I would have kept that just for the last level. Come on, you're close. I mean, sure, fair enough. I always love seeing a go-up trap right beside an elevator. You saved the frames for not having to close the menu.
You thought you was gonna use the elevator. Let me assist you.
Also, I just like the noise of the elevator, or the go-up trap as well. It's always very fun.
A little spring, a little boing. It always reminds me of like that show Wipeout. You ever watch that show?
No, I'm Canadian. You don't get anything on television over here.
Oh man.
We didn't have Toonami. We didn't have any anime network. We didn't have nothing. Ooh, he has to go up. Okay, at least he has a holy bell, but he has to go up with a slow trap. That sucks. But thankfully, the room is empty. Good to see. And hopefully he's able to keep that away.
There's that whole Mahel thing I was talking about there.
Still no Mahel. Yeah.
Bye-bye, snowman.
Mm-hmm. Those things suck. I hate them. They hit way too hard. You can't use barriers against them. They're extremely bulky. They have high HP, high attack, high defense, and them being water makes them just... I would have used that actually on the snowman. Yeah, see, it survived. I don't think I really agree with that, just because you can't get the water typing now. Oh no, he got rid of the egg. Never mind. Okay. Oh no, he still has blue egg. He still has blue egg. Yeah. 23 for Shuzo.
So that's the thing I was talking about. It's another one of those damage check monsters. There's the snowman on those floors. They're one of those monsters that really just makes you consider everything.
Honestly, yeah. Like I remember when we first started the community, we were always talking about like benchmarks, what you should do when you're learning to run the game. And I always tell people, just start the game and try to get the blue collar. That's floor 12. That's hard to do when you're learning the game, but if you can consistently get the blue collar on your first climb, you're going to do great. That's a good start. Next one, floor 20. A little bit harder to get to. 28 is probably the next one where snowman and all these other problematic things are. And if you can get past that, it's like you might as well go for 40.
Yeah, if you can make it to 430, you can make it to 440. You just gotta be a little careful.
Yeah, it's just you just be a little bit careful. Just understand, like with any game, the more intelligence you have going into it, the better overall it is. I think I know what's happening with Shuzo's side. I think it's one of his settings on. I'll troubleshoot with him after. You know what? That's a good idea, because death is not in the room, technically. Septic can get rid of death. I would not, though. Just because, like, it is a very good, strong monster. He doesn't have... Or he still has the Restore Scroll as well. And even if nothing else, making death walk into... At floor 30 now for Septic. Making him walk into a room and distract all the monsters and dying that way is honestly pretty good for a strategy as well. And we can revive your monster just outside the room and bring him back. Right. I would honestly just want to ask Brains.
Yeah, and his inventory isn't all that great for running solo. Like, he would burn through the inventory pretty quickly if he gets into a sticky situation. He would need at least one more fire-based ball just to try to make it out of there without using the pet if he needed to, in my opinion.
This is why changing... Again, if Septic would have changed the snowman to wind, that thing would have been better, because he'd have fire versus the fire creature here and be doing much more damage. But this is, again, a lot of time, a lot of MP, and a big resource kind of drain that way. So, there's 2 killers coming. There's no way in the world he's dealing with that. I'd honestly just throw a Holy Scroll down the hallway if that was the case.
Yeah, after you get to floor 30, the game just throws every damage check monster at you. Like nothing is safe after that.
No, absolutely not. Especially because which way are they going? Okay, they're coming to say hi. And Tyrant always turns around. You don't have to worry about them in the hallway like that. If it's a flat edged hallway, they'll just turn around again. You can use the lowdown to actually turn monsters around. It does technically make them face direction, so you can hopefully redirect stuff.
Here comes the killer.
There's nothing in that room, so okay, that's good, sorta. But I think this is where Olean Fruit comes in handy. Yeah.
Depending on how much of that level, it probably would have been good just to use the Holy Scroll.
No, you can't pick up death, so you can't bring death through the Holy Scroll area. It's a one hallway.
No, I meant just using the Holy Scroll on the killer and letting the killer kind of just.
Yeah, honestly, that would be a good decision. So all the monsters turn left in hallways, their respective left. So knowing that, you can predict where they're going to move. So that's why 2 killers is turned away. Turning that camera, making sure he's not going to walk into a killer. Very smart.
Or letting that tyrant hit your death, because that would be probably an instant death.
If it's Berserk and crits easily. And we do not have a Sleepy Beldo today.
Or one room floor Beldo.
Yeah, that was a thing. Oh, we have death on Shuzo's side. It just changed. We lost the inventory. So I will say GG, and I'll see if I can figure out Shuzo's side of things for streaming. So
we should let Septic run a little bit more while you guys.
I'll message saying Septic keep going for now. Just give me a sec here.
I mean, he doesn't have much further to go anyway. He's already on floor 31. He's perfectly poised to make it to 440 within the next 10 minutes, I would say, easily. No, I mean, while we're waiting in the chat, what is your guys' prediction of the next monsters here? We like to give that. We like to see what your guys' predictions are. What would you like to see as a monster for the next round? Using the medicinal herb? No, it doesn't count if you've already used the seed to sneak peek ahead. That's kind of cheating. You didn't load the seed? Did you look up like a spoiler log? How do you know what the next monster is? I mean, if you're just psychic, then I guess that's not cheating, but is it still considered a guess? It's not guessing if you actually already know the answer, right?
I'll be right back. I'm just going to jump and call Shuzo quickly.
I know.
Oh, so I'm going to say killer.
He's hoping for a killer. Yeah, very much psychic. Well, you were psychic in our match, Shy, that's for sure, because you did a very good job bringing me down a couple notches into the bottom notch bracket. They seem like they're fun to run with. What spell do they start with? Or do they even start with a spell? Oh, a sleep trap. Septic special. Too bad there was no monster. Bread? Oh, yeah, that makes them really, really strong then. You're gonna take the Olean. Huh. Probably would have got rid of that treasure scroll and kept the only fruit, but 434 with the dragon right there and the flame ball. I would take the flame ball. Get rid of the only fruit. So last choice. Look at that. So you need that flame ball for that golem. Those golems, they're really scary. I mean, they're very brittle to fire magic, but if those guys hit you, man, they can deal upwards to like 80. Ooh, look at that prison trap. He got lucky. They can deal upwards to 80 damage on you easily with the crit or more, depending on your level. And they got that long range attack that if you get caught off guard or wrong angle, they can take you out there. And it sounds like he just charged one up. Oh, he's gonna take the risk of. That seems like a good play because he can go through there. He can start on the next floor. He can use the holy bell, and then he'll know he's safe on the until he gets his sight back, which is probably what's gonna happen. Or he's gonna use the acid rain. I probably would just use the holy bell. Double golem time. Oh, he woke up. Yeah, so this is exactly what I was saying. If he didn't have that pet there to help him as backup, you can see these resources are getting used up pretty quickly. Even with the pet there. Because you gotta figure every monster in these late floors take at least 2 to 3 of the flame balls, except for the golem. They're the only exception that would die in one hit. Everything else is gonna take a few charges, and then sleep ball is 100% consistent. They can wake up, so you can burn charges there. The binding ball is 100% consistent, but it only lasts for 3 turns. So there's a lot of things you gotta worry about. And the ice rock ball, they won't last too long with these guys here. Like 4 or 5 hits, and that thing's going down. So all of those resources can get burnt out really quickly. It can be burned out on one floor if it's just that bad of a floor. We're using the star glasses there to figure out where the exit is. You're gonna try to sneak past the dragon. Let him sleep. You don't want to wake the bad dragon. Yeah, the fail septic special twice. It is more fun when it succeeds. I've had a few of those myself, so it is definitely not fun when you're on the receiving end of those. Go for it, man. Just go for it. Don't be scared. You got a 1 in 8 chance. You can make it. I just kind of put him to sleep. He's like, you know what? I don't want to risk it. He's not confused anymore. Look at that. We got our feedback in Shuzo side. Looking nice and clean and high def. So we should just let Septic here finish. He's only 2 floors away. Just let him get that GG and we'll get him underway.
Everything should be fine now. We have done the troubleshooting. So Shuzo's side should be actually animated.
Yeah, it's working fine. I can see it just fine
Yeah.
over here.
So that small thing, we are going to be typing up a guide later for commentators. Other thing, we need a RetroArch or something set up, because the setting that basically pauses when you're not clicked on the window stops, even though he's playing, he's not being able to play, or he's basically being on OBS is like freezing his window screen or whatever, so it's being problematic. So that's what the issue was.
Right. Well, I thought the Revan said something about thinking about not using RetroArch anymore and just opting to use
we eventually
else.
had to standardize everything on this one, because there's clearly something of an issue with it.
Right. Yeah, because it was fine until like the past update or the past couple updates, and then even myself, because I used to use it a lot. Like that was the first thing I used when I was started the speedrunning, and then I had to stop using it because everything just went haywire after an update, and I could not get it fixed no matter what I did. I reinstalled it, I did everything, and I could not get it back to work properly. So I decided just to go with DuckStation. The DuckStation, in my opinion, is actually better. I like it better than what I use. RetroArch is simpler to use, and it's just, in my opinion, it's a better emulator. That's my 2 cents. You know.
Again, mine, I have everything set up. It hasn't updated. It still works. I'm keeping it as is because I'm really bad for setting up stuff or finding small details in menus.
Right. I did mention before, like I have a basic setup of it. So if you guys just wanted to go over it on some spare time, I can go through all my settings so you guys can get a base feel of what the settings are. And then you can try to fine tune things later on from there to get a standardized of it if that's the route we want to go. I don't mind doing that.
We gotta disclose paid advertisements. I know.
It's freeware, okay?
GG. Yeah, we have a BRB from Septic, so we already knew he completed it. But we'll say go to seed screen when you can. Again, for anyone who has Discord and you want to have a hotkey for a mute button, make it the scroll lock button. Scroll lock doesn't do anything in modern computers. It's the perfect mute button. Like, it really is. It's a really nice tip. Anyway, as we are getting set up and whatnot, I have the updated links if anyone wants to join our Discord server. We are over 700 strong, which is quite amazing, truthfully. You don't have to be a speedrunner to join. If you are a fan of the game, feel free to join. We have resources for all levels of players, and we also do tournaments. We post when we go live, the Azure Watcher role. So
yeah, there's all kinds of fun stuff to go on in there, and we even have channels for just random day shenanigans.
Hey, it's quite active for a Discord, truthfully, but there's always someone talking somewhere. So this is very neat. Let's see here. Let's get the seed check here for Shuzo's side. 164505. I did not credit properly last time I was doing this. That's my bad. The de-randomizing randomizer was made by pro_grammar. If you go to adrando.com, you can see all the features we have for it. I know programmer is busy with life. That's just how it goes. We miss him greatly in the Discord server. He is around. He's just not active. But he single-handedly revived the speedrunning scene for this, because we went from basically random towers to fixed seed towers to being able to make the random toolkit stuff and far more. Like, there's a lot of features, like a second tower, that we have not touched in these streams. We did have a second tower tournament prior, though.
Yeah, we just got done with it.
It's hard, it's fun, but ugh.
Yeah, it's intimidating. I opted out not to join that tournament for that specific reason. I was like, I don't know enough about it, and I didn't want to make myself look bad. But unfortunately, I did that today, so I will make it up to you guys in the next match.
Get 499 clear, that's all. Also, the other thing as well is the scarier thing that also happened was there is endurance mode, which we've never done before as a tournament, where you have all the items available to you at the start, and you can only take 20, and there's no other item spawns in the tower.
Oh
That's,
man,
so you take your 20 items when you go into the tower, and then you're stuck with what you have, and get to the top floor.
that would be fun.
Also,
My brain is already thinking like, man, what would I take?
how good is an acid rainbow when you can never find a white sand?
I wouldn't even take an acid rain ball. I would take like a binding ball, a sleep ball, like a couple pillar balls, and like a restore scroll, depending if you get a pet or not. Weapon, shield, and yeah, just some couple of herbs, stuff like that. Just it would be a very good kit. It
Yeah.
would be possible to make it with that. So it's not impossible to do that mode. I actually want to play it now. It sounds fun.
It is very interesting for sure. There's also all sorts of weird things.
Do you get to pick your pet too, or is that randomized?
I don't remember exactly. I'm pretty sure it's still Queenie. I'm not
Oh, then
honestly
yeah,
100% sure. I've never done it myself yet. As
that's
long as that
almost like
sun
a
is shining
game.
in that corner, we know Shuzo's screen is still going. So I gotta literally say, no one touch anything, and I'll count him down because Retroarchus is being a little bit annoying right now for Shuzo. That's it. So
Now, would gold spawn in the tower in that mode?
no, I don't believe so. I don't think any items do.
So no barong farming. See, I thought I found a loophole.
No, I think endurance mode is actually on the speedrun.com page. This is in the miscellaneous stuff.
I might have to watch a run of that and see. That sounds fun. That
There's
does.
something around there. All right, so do we have predictions for the monsters? I missed most of them.
I didn't really see anything besides you saying killer. I want to say picket. I want to see a picket run, and I want to see a palumpa run. I want a palumpa this time, and then a picket if there's a third match. Always go for a double palumpa seed.
I know you said Shuzo, don't click anything. Everything is working, but good luck. Have fun. You can see it pause there for a second. So that's when Shuzo's clicking on stuff. So if it doesn't catch on very quickly, we will. I'll say just click back on the window or whatever. This is a problem with different stream setups or whatever. Like, your stream setup is still mind-boggling to me, John, of 2 different PCs and a capture card.
Yeah, it's like a Frankenstein kind of like setup. It is hard to use sometimes. Like there's some limitations and stuff we can do. Looks like we got a wee dog there. So that's gonna be interesting. Let's see some meat strats.
Yep. So honestly, VDog is it Brit for its unlock?
I'm not sure. I don't really know. If it is bread, then we'd be okay.
Honestly, that might be the case. I think clicking on the timer is causing it to actually go. There we go. Got the message. So.
And then it froze again.
Yeah. There we go. We have Shuzo screen. Recovery ball. Gross.
Well, water wee dog too.
Yeah, which is Neobrid, so it does get bred. So that means every wee dog encountered, despite them being red, because that's the default, they will actually have Neobrid available, which they will have long-range magic.
Newell. Oh, interesting.
Honestly, WeDog, I don't think I've ever really had success with it. And also, you can see Septic checking briefly for the bell wrong. I'm just going, nah. It's too far away. Don't want to chase it.
Stream is still.
Yeah, it's.
Let
me check on my side again here. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure things out for Shuzo's side.
It's pretty unfortunate here.
I honestly do think they're clicking off the window. Just, whatever's happening. Again here. I don't want to be a problem, but at the same time, like, we need to verify them playing the game. Septic using Newell, probably for Revan's sake.
Well, I mean, it's also good because it has the herbs. It can heal with the herbs. It's empty.
Oh God.
Did he crash?
No, he has to click it for the controller to work. So he's clicking off to get the controller to work, and he's clicking on it to get the controller to work, and it's constantly causing it to have issues.
Huh.
It's literally the controller is controlling the screen. So just play then.
Oh man, poor Shuzo.
Yeah, just play. We will go with this. We will figure this out later. Oh, he has a grudge against Weed Dog. Okay. Yeah, so that is the controller being an issue. So sorry, we're gonna have one-side things.
Looks like Septic is paused for a minute as well.
Yeah.
Maybe waiting to see if he can get it fixed or just have a friendly competicism.
Septic is always helpful. Like, they shouldn't be talking, just saying. But
good
to check this
sportsmanship.
thing, I have to restart RetroArch. Yeah, no, just play. Just play. That's the verdict here. Just play. We can figure this out later.
Yeah, we have plenty of time after this to put our mega minds together and figure out a consensus after this and figure out exactly what we're gonna do.
Okay, they'll figure it out before round 3. I know Septic is more familiar with the programs and stuff like that. You can see them stopping and talking quite a bit, but we're going to be focusing on Septic's side again. So, long story of this is Shuzo's control is being an issue. Has to click onto the controller, which is causing the screen to pause. So, that's just fun for everyone involved. And this is my second and third match today I'm going to be commentating. So this is between John's bad luck in game 2, Shuzo's controller and game being separate entities. What's going to happen at 1 a.m. in the morning for me? Let's find out.
Well, there's one thing's for sure. Anything is possible when it comes to Azure Dream speedruns. I tell you that. Even things not related to the game is possible. So.
Honestly, what I did, I jumped in call briefly with Shuzo. It is most likely something we can solve by capturing display and just having it so he's always clicked off whatever. But we'll figure that out before game 3. I think with that mentality, I think they probably would have a friendly game 3. So we do see the screen updating and stuff like that. We do see the treasure loop and decur scroll appearing. Floor 3 versus floor 4. Nope, sorry, floor 3 versus floor 3. Shuzo was technically in the lead there. Probably because of all the typing and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, I mean, he was pausing, just trying to help out as well too. So
yeah. And the thing is, like, again, I always want to stress this. No one here is malicious. No one here in the community is, like, rooting for, like, evil things to happen. We're all friends. We're all having fun. It's a fun for imaginary tournament, for imaginary, whatever. Like, it's for fun. So, like, this comes with the wheelhouse. I know normally other matches go a little bit nicer. Red Sand, where does that come from? Paralyzed. Oh, so I didn't look at the equipment. So we have a paralyzed wand, recovery ball. I think it's always medicinal herb, so that's fine.
Right. Shuzo didn't check the egg, so he is running the Wee Dog. So we do have the Wee Dog versus the Bat now, or the Newell, which will become the Bat now later. Another red sand on Septic side, and he's going to use the red sand. Very curious. He's using a fire sword with the water monster.
Honestly, the same type of attack bonus isn't going to matter too much because the 5 attack. Eventually, it's going to be problematic, but like Newell's never going to be doing physical attack anyway.
Yeah, and he's not using the mixed magic right now either, so he's using the damage.
Honestly, the best thing you can do with the Newell until it's a Batinelle. Oh, it's okay. Good. I was gonna say he might be pinned actually if it's too high up and he can't jump out. He's probably just leaving the Newell to actually deal with the damage that you'll be taking by tanking all the attacks with Ko. And hello, Raiders. This is Azure Dreams, a procedurally generated dungeon tower, I guess, not so much dungeon, tower climbing game of 40 floors, and this is a randomizer setting where everything is kind of bonkers to start with, but a very vanilla tower. Until they get to the Wee Dog floors, and everyone might get shot with like spells. But they'll have to deal with that later.
I can't wait.
Yeah. Oh, so we're having a little bit of tech issues on Shuzo's side as well. So the game feed is frozen, but the state display and the timer are not. So it's a fun thing.
Yeah, right now he's in the lead. He's on the 5th floor, and SepticTank just made it to the 5th floor. So.
Yep. Actually, I didn't actually explain the rules and how it's decided. Is since this is still technically a speed run, it's whoever gets to the highest floor first. So let's say Shuzo got to floor 17 and then died. Septic, if he was already behind, would have to get to floor 18 for a win. If he got to 17 and died, Shuzo would get the point. So it is still who can be fastest going up the tower, and obviously having the higher floor first is a big advantage. And there is a 1 hour time limit to these matches, so people can't sit and do earthquake percent. Don't do that. Just don't do earthquake percent. It's not good for your sanity. And then, yeah, that's basically it. Actually, what is the world record right now?
I have no idea. People actually run that percent?
Yeah, we had three runners, so we made a category for it. Miscellaneous. Earthquake percent. Food equals life with 5 hours and 2 minutes.
I mean, you can't really. It's kind of like an auto scroller at that point. It's like there's not too much you can do to make it go faster.
Surviving pillars till earthquake is not easy.
Yeah, true, but still, you're pretty much running around until it's not easy by any chance. I'm not saying it's easy, but there's not much time to be saved in that category.
Honestly, there actually is. We have to use glitches. Technically, if you had Mana Weave and a Picket, you'd be able to duplicate Tumina Fruits, and then you could just do a Tumina Fruit glitch on every single floor and only do it in 10 minutes instead of like 40. Just saying. There's a huge time save.
Yeah, but, the odds of finding the Maneva and the Picket.
I mean, some people run into the tower looking for the Garuda egg on floor 11. So,
Hey, it does happen. I'm just saying, you're wasting potential if you find a Maneva egg and a Picket egg in the same run on this and within the same entrance. I'm just saying that is a totally different category world record potential you got going on there.
True. This game is so broken now. Like, I can't express when we first started the community of like Discord of 5 people. Again, now we're over 700. Just again crazy, but we used to think 80% was the scariest category ever, and it was so inconsistent that bookless was the only thing we could submit to marathons. Now it's like, okay, yeah, let's submit, hour 15 for an estimate. That's more than enough time for a nice slow run. It's like, what?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The hour 15 with the Cune is pretty much, if you're good at doing 80%, you got like a good 90% chance of making that run happen.
Yeah, we also have Newell on Shuzo's side, so Wee Dog died, Newell's out.
At level 4?
Yep.
Not too far away.
Yeah, hatched at level 4, so you can see that being a little bit level behind. A little bit elevator train going up to floor 8 now for Septic.
And floor 7 for Shuzo, so he's just one floor behind. It's not too bad.
Oh, yes, the other benefit of Newell is seeds and herbs recover 50 MP, making it so you can have basically infinite healing as long as you have a seed or a herb, which are quite common on floors. So, yeah, that you don't want, because you don't want Newell trying to protect you against the clown. It will just get murdered.
Yeah, I can vouch for that.
Yeah, it's if you ever get hit by a trap, like frog trap or a binding trap or sleep trap, your monster will automatically default into AI 4, and he'll run and go attack whatever. And when that happens, it's very problematic because, oops, your monster's like level 2 and is trying to fight a killer. Don't do that. And for the most part, maybe they can pull off a win, but they're not going to recover. They're not going to do whatever. And sometimes, I think the record sleep length is Sand Knight used a Holy Bell that got hit by a sleep trap. Oh, sorry. Used Holy Bell, used a Repel Ball, used a Sleep Ball on the repelled monster, reflected it, and it put himself to sleep. And he stayed asleep for 57 turns. So, again, because of the Holy Bell, we're able to count it safely. But at the same time, like, this is problematic. You want to use that Flame Ball, or again, do the pickup. 7 damage from a Dreamin'.
It's just a Dreamin'.
Yeah, it's just a dream until it's not. So we got Decurse. Honestly, I don't know why Septic is holding on to all the gold swords when he can be throwing it for easy damage.
Yeah, it's almost to the point where those swords are going to be pointless anyways. They're not going to be worth much of damage after you get to floor 11.
I would check those. He does have a stream one. Never mind. Shuzo, floor 7, doing fine. Newell's kind of dying, though. That's a bit of a problem. They do have a recovery ball. They should use it on Newell. Floor 11, a little bit of elevator train the last couple of floors. There's only 40 floors to this tower. There is 99 floors in other ones. Oh, now that's blocked off. That's just rude.
Teach you to throw a sword at me.
Yeah. I'll show you and just poop in your general direction. It's like, okay, Volcano, what?
Or maybe he ate the sword and that's the end result.
Yeah. You get to see how bulky they are. They either last for a while or they have like 80 to 100 HP or something like that. They're quite annoying to get rid of. Thankfully, the Mixture Magic and Stream 1 make it relatively short work of just a barricade.
Right. I found out the hard way earlier that you cannot force the Newell to heal itself.
Nope. It is up to the Newell if it wants to do that or not, and that's an extremely annoying thing to do. Oh, no, just wait a little bit longer. Let that Griffin pass. Again, for anyone who's unaware or came in a little bit late, is all the monsters will always follow the left-hand side, they put their left hand on the wall while walking. They will always turn the corner when their hand gets off the wall, kind of thing. So because of that, we're able to predict where they move and how they do things. Rooms, though, on the other hand, a little bit more problematic, not as easy to predict. Sometimes they go straight through a room. Sometimes they just decide, you know what? No. So there you go. You see Septic. The Volcano's left-hand side is in there, and he just is going to turn a corner. Sometimes some monsters will always actually get caught in a loop because of it. And other times there's only one real path around the floor. And if it looks like you are encountering every single monster in a row, maybe like this,
chances are you're moving upstream.
Exactly. You're basically walking upstream in a river through all the monsters. Go the other way, you'll find less monsters. That happened actually during John's match. You had like 5 or 6 monsters following you because you were walking against the monsters, and all of a sudden, oops, that's what they all are. If you're walking the other way, you never will saw them. So it's one of those things to predict. Like if you see how the level layout is, and you can kind of count the left-hand corners and all this other stuff, you can probably predict which areas are safer. It's a little bit more high-level play, and honestly, when the elevator comes into the levels, we'll see that on Septic's side once he hits the elevator going to floor 12. The elevator will always start in the top left-hand corner of the map, always does, and then it will curve in the C direction to where Ko is, the player character. So you'll see here in a second, it'll go up, you'll cancel the menu, and then you'll see, oh, we have New All Death on Shuzo's side. So from the left all the way down, he is at the bottom right-hand corner of the map. So he knows everything, if he's paid attention, through basically the middle of the map, the top of the map, and then kind of the left-hand side of the map in the center. And probably a little bit kind of like, 5 o'clock-ish. So because of that, we're able to go, okay, we didn't see the elevator. The smart thing to do is either go straight up, hopefully check for an elevator. No, go back down, go left, and hopefully find the elevator, because we did not see those areas on the turn-in. And obviously with the map and stuff like that, you can see... oh, there it is. You can see the little flashing green spot.
We got 413 on Septic and 410 on Shuzo.
With 2 dead monsters. Shuzo's going commando. Okay, for those who are, again, confused and new, commando is not like going commando and not wearing underpants. Going commando, the player is Ko. We have a couple terms in the community. Going commando basically means that you are going without a familiar. So you lose your last familiar, all of a sudden going commando means, well, Ko is going alone. He has nothing with him. This is going to suck. And honestly, this time, Krakens are scary now, so it's nice to turn them into friends for a second.
Well, I just want to say thank you for the explanation, because I totally thought it meant the other way. So
no. There's also Dad Run, because when we're submitting to RPG Limit Break, we don't want to use the term suicide or anything like that, because mental health. So what we do is the Darcis, actually the first runner, he actually accidentally kept dying on floor 1. So we dubbed, basically, when you're trying to pass time in the game on bookless runs, we called it basically doing a dad run. Is you just go in and die on the first floor. And it's a much better term than saying suicide or anything like that. So it's just a generally nicer term, but that's also where that
run, though. It's generally a bad idea to do that unless you've already...
Exactly. Like it's better just to steer away from it, and then it evolves so many times over the years where people don't know the term where it comes from, but they still call it a dad run. So it's like, okay, cool. That's a nice little item room. There's not much in there. He should use the white seed and get rid of... Oh, dear.
And that's what he has the Mahel to secure it, though, this time.
He needs to use it ASAP. The Newell's not surviving, and he's not doing that much damage versus 2 Griffins. The Kraken will help, but he should be using... he might be trying to take advantage of the minus speed, so the Kraken can hit twice. So this is... Yeah. Shuzo got Leather Shield, floor 11. That's all the update I can give on that for now. Ooh. Also, you can see the little status face of Ko. That is based off the state display that Chai made. Normal Ko is like on Shuzo's side. Slow Ko basically gets inflated. Fast Ko looks honestly very sleek, I guess is the design they want. Ko looking like that means there's been a curse status at some point, which is not fun for anyone.
That's derpy Ko.
Yeah. Yeah, that, or it's like 5 a.m. Ko that woke up too early. something like that, or
Pre-coffee
co. Pre-coffee co. There you go. And now we're going to play the 1 in 8 game, where there's 8 directions around the Griffin, and hopefully it doesn't hit you before it does that. So Septic getting through. Oh, 3 HP down to Shuzo's side.
Uh-oh.
He got 4, so he's recovering. He has a Holy Scroll and a Water Crystal, which would be great if he had a monster. So floor 14 now for Septic.
Well, I mean, as long as you have a Holy Scroll, you always got a monster.
True.
At least for one floor.
Honestly, this is where you not do AI 1, but you just take the attack from the troll. You would probably just... No, don't pick it up. That's a lot of debt. Oh, I see. That's smart. He's banking on direct D heal and picking up. So he's getting hit and recovering damage. That's actually a very good use, though. Yes, so what's happened right now with Shuzo's stream is Shuzo's emulator is set up to the point where he can play it, but OBS isn't capturing it properly. But in order to play it, he has to click off it so his controller works. So we're going to get it set up by game 3 and hopefully have it work this time. So you can see there, like, you know, he's on floor 3, but it says max 11. The timer's still going. Yeah, there's been a lot of issues with updates between RetroArch and OBS, truthfully. I've been purposely not updating my stuff on my side, so huzzah. But at the same time, it's like, ugh. Also, yeah. What happened? I looked away for a second. He's trapped in a corner.
He tried to kill the Kraken, and then the Garuda woke up, and he just hasn't been able to get out of there since throwing the troll. Now he's in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
The Kraken should be going down here, though.
Yeah. Definitely do a direct D heal. Then you feed a herb to... Because this is where New L strength comes in, a 50 MP recovery with herbs instead of just pita fruits. Likes what it's eating, and then do that. You walk, there you go. You position it, so hopefully it will attack New L and not you. And it should be 2 attacks to get rid of this troll. And then, there you go.
There you got lucky, because that troll could have killed him if he would have got a good hit there.
Mm-hmm. Actually, Septic's fighting quite a bit, probably more than he would like, truthfully. But yeah, Recovery Ball is a better choice. Keep the MP recovery potential. It's hitting each other.
Yeah. So one thing about those trolls with the swords, they have those curved swords, and those swords actually ignore all shields. So they're getting pure damage on those attacks. So you can have a plus 99 shield, and it's going to ignore that shield.
Well, it doesn't ignore the pluses, but the thing is, this, I do believe, and if Chai can correct me, the swords have 8 attack power for them. So therefore, they're stronger than all the shields in the game. So you won't be able, you'll still get blocked by like the plus 20 mirror shield or whatever. But like a diamond shield 7, they have 8 attack power no matter what. So, you know, they will go through your defenses essentially. I do believe that's this, or is it 8, which is death? I can't remember exactly. Because clowns also have weapons. Clowns, deaths, and killers, I think, are 3 monsters that are classified with weapons. Oh, Shuzo's dead.
Uh-oh. I mean, if that's the case, the Mandaras have weapons too, right?
They know. Like, again, it's weird how they classify certain things on this game. Let's see here.
It is weird.
Let me get that spider channel.
We're gonna see if they're gonna have a friendly third, or are we gonna bring them in for interviews? In the meantime, we got floor 16 on Septic side. Hopefully we see a Barong and get some Barong slot machine action. That'll be fun. Sleeping Garuda outside the room. That's rare. Unless he used the sleep ball on him. Nope, we don't have a sleep ball.
No, I think it just like spawned weird or something. It's a bit weird on that one.
Are we confirmed for a friendly third or?
Just asking now.
Okay.
We have to do obviously text setup because you can see like it works. This is what Shuzo clicks on the thing, but his controller's not working. So to get the controller working, we have to restart the emulator and do this other stuff, which is just problematic and dumb. But whatever. This is why things when they update clearly go well, right? Everyone loves it.
Right. I'm throwing my vote for banning RetroArch. That's just what I'm saying.
Honestly, I like again the newest version. Yes, the one I'm using is like 2 points or whatever. It's an old one. I know that.
Well, that's the thing. Like I had to reinstall it and even got the older version, and I couldn't get it to work after it broke the first time. I just could not get it to work at all. After that, so I was like, I was forced to find a different alternative emulator, and then I found DuckStation, and I've had no problems with it. Like it's decent. So now it's like even if I could get RetroArch to work again, it doesn't work in my opinion as good as what I got now. So there's no point in going back. We got a reset on SepticTank side, so it does look like we're gonna have a friendly third seed here. So in the meantime, chat, let's get our votes in. What would be a good monster to finish this out?
A noise.
Well, we haven't seen one in the tournament yet, so it would be interesting to see that happen. I would vote for that as well. Or are we going to see a no monster run? A lot of these friendly thirds, they come out and we do friendly agreements between the two runners and agree to not use the monsters at all by special means of glitch tower entry. We can actually glitch into the tower and skip the forced initial monster.
I don't know if Shuzo's able to do that.
Ah, well, shameless plug here, but if Shuzo would have saw my my tutorial, then he wouldn't, and everybody else would know how to do that glitch entry.
I remember when I did that in the second tower. It took me 3 minutes to get into the thing. I'm not very good at glitch entry.
Have you had time to see the updated tutorial?
Yeah, I'm just bad at
it. Well, I mean, you can lead a horse to water, right? I can show you and tell you how to do it, you know, until I'm blue in the face. But if you don't practice it to a certain extent, I mean, nobody's really going to get it down.
I mean, when's the last time you see me run Azure Dreams is a better question. Even if I'm always around, like.
True. You've been playing other fun things, like Monster Sanctuary.
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm closing in on learning my 80th game now or something. I've been trying to expand more and more and more.
80th game?
Like 80th speed game.
Oh, nice. You should learn Hollow Knight. That game is fun. You want something that's a challenge.
No, I hate Hollow Knight. Again, like, people always hate me for my game stuff. I really dislike that.
Oh, man, no. We are no longer friends, good sir.
Well, that's the case, then.
We're going to have to agree to disagree on that one.
All right. Well, I'm going to hop and call Shuzo and see if we can do one last thing, which is going to be a more of an interesting fix. Because technically it should work. Because like he's clearly playing. Also, hello, Daniel. So I will jump and call and see if I can do that quickly. I'm going to make him capture display and crop it down. So give me a sec here.
Right. In the meantime, everybody, we appreciate you guys here. We want to give our thanks to SpeedGaming channel and everyone here involved. Please, if you like to, join our Discord. our links to our challenge and our brackets and our schedule is everything is linked there in the channel just now. And feel free to give our commentators a follow or our runners a follow if you do so choose. And I myself am John Phoenix, and my co-host there is Shawnee. And we hope you're enjoying the fun as of right now. We got a little demo going on the SepticTank side. Showing you exactly how to play the game or how not to play the game. Not sure why the camera angle is turning like that in the demo. They got a little bit of controller drift going on. It'll be a good time in the chat. If you guys have any questions about the game, feel free to ask them in chat. I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability and knowledge. If not, I'm sure there's some high experts there in chat that can also answer the questions for you. If you're new to the game or just wondering exactly what it is that we do here, what it is, the goal. The game itself is like a kind of like a Frankenstein mashup of a bunch of different games. It has elements of everything. It's categorized as an RPG, but it's really a roguelike tower game. But then you got some town building elements and, you know, relationship building, a little bit of dating sim built into it. It's really ahead of its time when the game actually came out. And oddly enough, this game was made to be a competitor for Pokemon. So Pokemon came out, this game came out, one became widely popular, the other one should have been more popular. Just imagine in some alternate reality, your dreams has thousands of different games and add-ons while Pokemon just kind of fell to the wayside. How would you feel about that? You probably wouldn't know the difference. You would be like, what is this? Sure, what is your question, Daniel? How are you so good at speedrunning this game? Well, I've been playing this game for a long time since I was a kid. Before I found out about the speedrun of the game, so I was already decent at the game. Like I knew a bunch of general knowledge. I didn't know everything there is. I still don't know everything there is. I'm still learning stuff about this game till this day. But when I learned the speedrun, I had some help from SepticTank there. He kind of mentored me, tutored me a little bit, and got me into the looking at the game and the speed run aspect of it. And then from there is just putting in the work and the runs, learning situational awareness is 100% key in this game. Learning what you should do and shouldn't do, and learning from your mistakes. After a while, you're gonna get good at the game. Speed will come, but learning what you should do in certain situations and just getting that into your muscle memory is really what's going to help anybody start to speedrun this game. So if you're interested in the speedrun of the game, I can help you out. Anybody else can help you out. Septic will probably get mad because he's kind of deemed himself the community mentor, so to speak. But yeah, you ask any one of us, ask anybody in our Discord about speedrunning stuff, and we all be more than happy to help you out and give you pointers and tips and stuff like that. And I'm kind of curious to see after this match if SepticTank wins. Well, he did win, so let's update that. Septic will be moving on to face me in the next week's match. So that's going to be interesting. It will be a grudge match because I actually, in the first match of the entire tournament, it was me versus SepticTank and kind of student versus mentor kind of thing. And I actually ended up beating him and knocked him down into the second chance bracket. So now it's more of a grudge match in the second chance bracket, round 2. versus me and SepticTank. So it's going to definitely be a good one to watch. Well, we haven't agreed on a date yet. We have to wait until Sunday before we can schedule our dates. We got to get the rest of the matches out of the way this week. So after Sunday, then we can schedule our match, and then we will have that up there. So once again, I can give our links there. You can look out on the challenge site, or you can join our Discord for information on when that match will be. But whenever that match is, it is gonna be a good one, folks. I am gonna give it my all in that match because I cannot let up at all against SepticTank. SepticTank is like the overall second best runner of this game. He's second place in a lot of categories. I believe he has a couple of world records himself in the game. So he knows this game in and out. He is up there. And I think overall I'm like around fifth place between all the categories. I have a couple silver medals. I have a silver medal in the 100% category. And then like the rest of them are like fifth, between fifth and seventh place. So yeah, he's definitely someone to watch out for. Yeah, it is definitely gonna be a good match. Scotty's in chat saying a miserable pile of secrets. So we're getting the cropping done, so we're almost there. Hopefully Shawnee can verify septic tank seed for me and just save me a little bit of trouble. And we should get the match everyone deserves here, being able to watch both runners. And there will be, just to let you guys know, there will be one more match later on this evening or tomorrow morning, depending on your time zone. It is scheduled for 3 a.m. Eastern time. So let me just do the conversion here. It is in about 11 hours from now is when the next match is scheduled. And that match is scheduled between the world record holder Ruga, and I forget who he's racing. I have to look into that. Can't think of it off the top of my head. Oh, he's racing Damaged Plushie. Forgive me, Plushie, if you're watching. I should have known that. So that's going to be a good match too. Damage Plushie, she doesn't really practice the game as much as she wants to, but she is in her own right pretty good, and she is the winner of one of the previous start tournaments, so which is basically the beginner tournament that we hold every now and again for beginner level entrance. You got to meet certain requirements to join it, which is very fun. But she actually won that tournament, which kind of upgrades her into the pro or semi-pro league, whether she wants to be or not. And Wuga, needs no introduction. He is the world record. He holds almost every world record in this game. He is the man, the myth, the legend. He is the one to beat. That is definite there. All right, looks like we got our crop and everything up in here. Well, I can see both of their seeds are the same. So we should be getting underway here shortly. Is there any other questions in the chat before we get started? Is there any special pets anybody want to see that may come out? We don't know. It's totally random. We won't know until we see it pop up on the state display there. Uh-oh. We got a little issue going on there with the crafting still. A Kraken Starter. Kraken Starter could be good. I'm not sure if it starts with a spell. I mean, it should. I just don't know what that spell would be. I personally am not a fan of Kraken at all. I never was. I don't like them. I think a long time ago when I was a kid, I used it and fused it with like a block until I realized that the reflect damage that it gives is like negligible. It's like it's not really worth it. And I was like, from there on, it's not a. It's they should just get rid of that monster in the whole game, in my opinion. The best monster being the picket? Who said the best monster is a picket? That sounds like some favoritism going on there. I mean, it could be the best monster. I'm not a fan of the picket's double movement personally when it comes to using him as a pet to follow you. I mean, it has its ups and its downs. In a speedrun sense, I actually would prefer Garuda. I think Garuda is kind of broken in the speedrun sense. That is my favorite monster by far, and if you're trying to go fast, that is probably the best monster to have. Should have Demir or something like that. That's right, because Ashura gets the Demir spell, right? I can see it now, yeah. Isn't the mirror like a reflect spell? Isn't that like the spell you learn if you feed the reflect ball? I think so. That's another reason to make those monsters. Now, why would you need even more? They can reflect physical attack and they can reflect magic attack. That's gonna be insane. Okay, looks like we're finally fixed up here, so hopefully soon we can get things going. Yeah, I haven't really played with those spells before. I know there is some ultimate spell combos that you can unlock and use that are really fun and interesting. Um, I can't think of those off the top of my head. There's like legendary spells. I believe there's one for each category. Like one for fire, one for wind, one for water, and each one summons like a legendary beast. It's kind of like a summon. Pretty cool. Pretty cool to see. I've only done those a couple of times as a kid, and recently I forgot all about it until somebody showed me like a year ago or something like that. I was like, oh yeah, that is cool. U-Boat has that hidden spell? Nice. I mean, the best spell is obviously the Haikyuu spell. I mean, too bad we can't use that pet. That is the best monster, technically. But anyone who plays this game, what do you think is like the best fusion of monsters? If you was playing the game casually and you just like, what would be like your favorite combination of pet to use? I think my best combinations was always either the arachnid and the block for just an ultimate pet combination. It has the 4 times defense, the 4 times attack. Now, like that thing is a monster. But it's weak to being confused and stuff, so You don't want to have that guy roaming around. You can't pick him up or do anything. Once he gets confused, you're running from the life from your own monster. But I always like using like the dragon too. The dragon is one of my favorite monsters. It's just kind of sad that you gotta basically beat the game before you can even find one. It's a lot of work. But we all know Revan's favorite monster is the Battlenail. I'm not a fan of the Battlenail. I'm giving my first seed today. My first tournament match of the day. Next time I see one, I'm probably just gonna ban it. I might just return it just on the principle. I won't even use it to fuse it or nothing. I'll just return it straight away. I'll release it into the wild. Get away from me. Free the horsey. If you're talking about me, thank you. I appreciate that. And actually, no, I'm not from Texas. I am actually from California, from the West Coast. But I am just very soft spoken and normally relaxed in a way. So I do have one of those very soothing voices people tell me all the time. Oh, no worries. Thank you for the compliment. Appreciate that. Speaking of voice, I need to get some water. No, you wasn't that far off though. I mean, Texas is right there. It might like to my thoughts where Texans their accents there is a little slower. Like their mannerisms of speech, and they kind of drag out their words a little bit. Um, if you pay close attention to that kind of stuff. If we have any linguistics experts here in chat. Oh, I thought we was ready to go, and then things broke all over again. The side linguistics lesson. Yeah, it's crazy because, like, well, obviously, I'm from the United States, right? And we have so many different areas, but in a lot of different places, our accents and stuff changes depending on the demographics and the people that live there. Like even in California, depending on where you live in California, you're gonna have different types of people accents and stuff. People closer to the south of the border, closer towards Mexico, like Southern California, like LA, San Diego, those kind of places, they're gonna speak a lot faster. It's just because of the way of movement out there. Hollywood stuff is very high paced, so they're gonna speak pretty fast. And oftentimes they speak fast because they probably speak Spanish as a second language. So you might hear them mixing words together, rolling the R's a lot, stuff like that. And as opposed to you go to somewhere like Northern California, things get a little slower because we don't do much, so we're a little bit more relaxed up here. Things like that. The stick in the East Coast. Well, I mean, East Coast, like where East Coast? Like Florida East Coast, New York East Coast? Because that's SM East Coast, right? But then again, you got two different demographics, right? So you got two different forms, manners of speech. You got New York that's very fast paced, talk really fast, have a certain set of accent, and then you got Florida. You know, they're kind of more like the surfer kind of talk. You know, they're a little more laid back. So it's a good example there. Okay, well, we got some visuals coming on here. We're still trying to get things worked out. So I do apologize to you guys for having to sit through this, and while we get this set up, hopefully after this, we're all going to sit down as a admins of the tournament here for future tournaments and make sure this shouldn't happen anymore. Because this happened a couple of times during the tournament between a couple of different people where things wasn't ready to go. And it kind of makes for a bad viewing experience, but it helps you guys get to know the commentators better. So I don't mind talking to you guys. Yeah. Um, yeah, if you guys can, just add me to that chat, and I'll give you guys some pointers or whatever what you guys want to do with that. Even for, I mean, it's your guys' decision on this tournament, but whatever happens between that, kind of like a Supreme Court kind of thing, you know, it should be a standard going forward for any other tournament. You know what I'm saying? Mm. Oh, okay, almost there. The the expected runtime of to the entire match, the match will be done within an hour. They have 1 hour to complete the match, no matter what. But
Success.
hey, finally, welcome back. I,
Fun
I
fact:
missed.
don't run the emulator in full screen. Just straight up, it causes controller issues. We got it fixed. They'll be recropping it shortly. Everything is fine. Everything's on fire. We'll get the runners going for match 3 for a friendly third.
Right, I agree with you there, right? Banning
Oh,
this is
man.
not a fun word to begin with, but sometimes you know there's got to be a set, you know, staple. There's got to be some kind of control in the environment.
Yeah. Yeah, so long story short, we've tried every single thing to correct this. What actually happened was Shuzo's full screen emulator was canceling his controller inputs when he clicked off of it.
Wow.
So we will see the full Shuzo experience. So
Finally.
yeah,
So
thank you everyone for the.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, thank you everyone for your patience. I did not want to have a third thing of slides. We will get for another volunteer. I don't know where the person who I think is with us right now is, but either way, we're all good. So that is that. Okay, we'll get someone recropping things. Oh, so how's everyone doing? I'm totally not stressed out right now.
Oh man, I'm not stressed at all. I'm good. having a nice conversation with chat here. You
Yeah,
know,
clearly I was
talking
watching
about,
the chat go. I'm like, this must be nice instead of trying to figure out tech issues.
yeah, we're having linguistics
Oh, we get
learning and everything.
Annapolis.
Oh, Annapolis. Oh, okay. So this is gonna be fun.
Yeah. So